Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you with an action figure that I've been impatiently waiting to come in the mail. Today we are going over the Marvel Legends Walmart exclusive classic Doctor Strange. And just on initial glancing at the packaging, this thing is beautiful. If you want to pick it up, like I said, it was available on Walmart's website. If it's still there, I hope so for you guys at the time of this review. If not, then we'll see if any other places like Big Bad Toy Store eventually get it. But in the meantime, I'm just happy. The packaging is gorgeous. I love that Doctor Strange logo that they use right there. Plethora of accessories to go over. And then, of course, we have his Sanctum Sanctorium logo up here on that nice spot varnish. Looks gorgeous. Come around to the side. And the artwork here, I'm actually really happy with. It's just a nice rendition of classic Doctor Strange. I have no qualms there. Come around to the back. Again, get a nice high-quality version of it there. Very beautiful. Read up. Make sure to get a close-up so you can read that at your convenience. Come around back to the side. Same gorgeous artwork. Nothing on the bottom. We already went over the top. So with that said, let's get Stephen Strange out of the packaging and get a closer look at him. So as I was doing some digging on Doctor Strange, I apparently came across an interview in Rolling Stone's issue 91 from 1971. And people, I guess, used to ask Roy Thomas if everyone up at Marvel was a head. He didn't know the meaning of the word. He said in the interview, people who read Doctor Strange thought people at Marvel must be heads because they had similar experiences high on mushrooms. But Stan's pretty straight, and I am too, pretty square. Not to the point of being completely ignorant of such things, but obviously I don't use the hallucinogens, nor do I think any artists do. Probably if they didn't, they wouldn't want to do any work. You know, if they did, they wouldn't want to do any work at all. So that was the editor-in-chief at the Times quote that I found. So let me know if you guys think that's legit. I did some digging. That was the best I could. But as you can see, here is the figure on the stand. And once you get him in his meditation style, my God, guys, this is a beautifully accurate figure. There is a whole lot to love with this one, and one or two things that's going to really chap your hide. So let's get him off the stand and talk further in detail about it. The Sorcerer Supreme's persona was apparently inspired by the 1930s American supernatural radio drama called Shandu the Magician. His first appearance was Strange Tales number 110 from August 1963, and he was created by Steve Ditko and Stan Lee. His origins were later revealed in Strange Tales number 115 from December of 1963, and just kind of a story is Stephen Strange is a brilliant but highly egotistical doctor who only treated patients who could afford to pay his extravagant fees. A terrible accident shatters the bones in his hands, leading to extensive nerve damage. He spirals into depression, just like he did in the movie, and he overhears two sailors discussing a hermit called the Ancient One in the Himalayas who can heal just about any ailment. The Ancient One fails to bring Stephen's good side to the surface. However, Stephen commits a heroic act when he discovers the Ancient One's disciple, Baron Mordo, was attempting to kill his mentor and usurp his power. And that's kind of the beginning origins of our Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. Some honorable modern reads that I would highly suggest checking out are the 2018 Doctor Strange Damnation and the 4-part Death of Doctor Strange. Both equally excellent events. Now for his accessories, his artifacts, they're just as rich in history as the man himself. So let's start with those. Let's go to, first, the Eye of Amagatu, which is on his chest here. That, can commit an all-revealing light in playback events. The Cloak of Levitation grants the user the ability to float and fly, and it can be commanded. The first appearance of those was Strange Tales number 127. The Wand of Watum, which is this gold scepter that he comes with. Beautiful piece. Love the gold. The nice Bronze engraving there on the handle looks good. The headpiece looks nice. Let's get a focus on that. Absolutely wonderful sculpting on this. They really went out of their way to do a good job on this scepter. Now the Wand of Watum, it shields and it also opens portals. Its first appearance was the Amazing Spider-Man Annual #2 from June 1965. Now the next one, kind of going, chronologically, this blue head. When I first saw the figure, I was like, what in the world is this? Because I'll be honest, I am not a well-versed Doctor Strange fan, so all the information I'm sharing with you, I had to dig and dig before I could really, do this review. The blue is great. Looks like the Blue Man Group from Las Vegas. Doo-doom, 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 doo-doom. The gold eyes on here, absolutely well done. Facial features are great. And I thought it was a mask, but apparently it's kind of like an enchantment. The sons of Satanish took Strange's cloak and the amulet and exiled him and Clea to a hostile dimension. Asmodeus uses the Book of Ashanti, taking the form of Doctor Strange. And from what I understand, the enchantment was an attempt to make Doctor Strange to look more like a superhero, and even gave him a new alias. So once that story arc was over, and he started donning this mask or enchantment, whatever you want to call it, he went by the name Stephen Sanders instead of Stephen Strange. But that was, I guess, ill-advised, because the run was canceled shortly after this, and it didn't, Doctor Strange did not get another book and return until 1974, with Sanders' surname being retconned. And the first appearance of this was Doctor Strange number 177 from 1968. So good stuff there. The more modern artifact that he uses, which I love this thing. That gray on there, this definitely looks like something you'd pick up in Skyrim or Oblivion. All the little engravings within the blade, the handle, the hilt, I guess you could call that on a battle axe. I'm not 100% sure. But just great detailing throughout the entire piece. There's little battle dings within the handle itself. Just a gorgeous piece overall. And I believe this thing's called the Axe of, oh boy, help me out here, Angarrumus, Angarrurmus. I'm not 100% sure on that. And the way that they introduced this thing, its first appearance was Doctor Strange Volume 4, number 1 from October 2015. And basically it shows him ripping through some monsters, and he just says that he found it in the center of the moon, and that's where he found the axe, and it made a strange humming of power. And that was it. No real story behind it, kind of like with the Wand of Watum. That thing had an awesome way that it built around the story. This, he's just like, oh yeah, found it on the moon, in the center of it, whatever. But nonetheless, even though the comic was kind of dumb, in my personal opinion, if you enjoyed it, I apologize. I tried, I couldn't. But this is a very welcome addition. So the other things that he comes with, now that we're kind of getting out of the history and stuff, is he comes with 2 power effects, which we've kind of seen before. These immediately remind me of the ones that come with Dazzler. But I like the gradation of yellow and orange. Just a very beautiful piece. Yeah, see, you can find where you can put it on his wrist, 2 different spots. Love all the little power effects on it, the little bubbles and whatnot. Just very well done, very much welcome. And when you put it on his wrist correctly, they look amazing. And of course, he comes with 2 casting hands, which to me look more like heavy metal Aussie. That's what these remind me of. But yeah, that's the 2 caster hands that he comes with. And then he also comes with, if I could pick them up, an open hand and a fist hand, which of course I cannot get a good focus. But yeah, regular stuff. Nothing exciting. Though the upside is at least, he has an open hand that he can hold his axe. And then, if you find another figure that has an open yellow hand like that for the left, then you can get him to double fist that axe and put it through someone's skull. So I'm glad that we at least get those hands. The last thing that he comes with, other than his normal head, which we'll go over in a minute, this is a beautiful piece. This, I wish that, they would have done one with the eyes open, because this would have been like a really cool Tony Stark head, like an older Tony Stark, but still very well sculpted. I love how the gray just kind of gradiates the way it's supposed to. The black looks good. The hair just looks great. The facial expressions are spot on, the way he's supposed to be meditating with this face. The skin tone, excellent. Just a very well rendered head sculpt. Speaking of head sculpts, now we'll get into the figure himself. This head sculpt's equally awesome, eyes open. I guess you could use this as a Tony Stark as well, but I think the reason I like the other one is because it has more of that long hair look, as where this one's a little bit shorter. But still, the eyes, the mustache, just great work overall. The cape, beautiful. I'm glad that they made sure to keep the pointiness, because that's one thing that Doctor Strange has always been known for with the Cloak of Levitation, is he always has that very exaggerated look, giving it characteristics of its own, just like Batman's cape. The red and yellow, the cracks or whatever they're supposed to be along the lines, beautifully done. Red inside looks good. And I like how, just like in the comics, it connects to the Eye of Amagatu here. And this is probably, after messing around with this, my only gripe, like major gripe with this figure, and I don't know what the hell they were thinking, is his cloak is permanently attached to him. That was a stupid idea, because it all connects here at his chest. I would have even taken a small hole in the chest if you could pry that off, because you can see there's no peg on his back. Yeah, absolutely no way to take off his cape unless you want to risk ruining your figure. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, because it's such a beautiful cape, and there were shots that I had where I wanted to have him stand next to his Sanctum Sanctorum and have the cape look like it's floating in next to him. But now, unless you have the original Toy Biz version where his cape could come off, you are SOL, my friend. Because the black, the blue, the cape, and then the very 70s leopard print gloves, those were part of his original design. As I said, when we were going over his backstories, he didn't get the Eye of Amagatu or the Cloak of Levitation until a few issues later. Until then, it was just him running around with his sash, his gloves, and the black pants and the blue shirt. So I don't know. I don't know why they thought that we didn't need to have this removed, be removable. So that's a major strike from me. The only other gripe in terms of paint apps that I do have is this symbol here. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it's supposed to be like Vishanti or whatever the ancient one was part of. If you guys know, let me know what this symbol means. But in the books, it was always much more pronounced, whether white or a much, much lighter blue, which I can see that they went for it, but it fades into his chest too much. And this is, again, another trademark symbol of Doctor Strange. His blue, I guess you could call it, what's that called? It's not necessarily a shirt. There's a word for it. Tunic, there it is. Looks good. The way the collar comes up around his neck and meets with the cape looks great. All the ripples where cloth is supposed to ripple, especially in the shirt, to make it look that it's actually more mysticism instead of just a regular old long t-shirt. Glad that this is loose, so when you do certain poses, you can make it look like it's flapping in the wind. Sash looks great there. Black legs, generic, but match, because that's what Doctor Strange is all about. So yeah, as you can see, just really great paint apps all around. I don't know. I know that the leopard print thing eventually disappeared, but I'm glad that when they did the Death of Doctor Strange, if you haven't read it, spoiler alerts, but an younger version of him comes through a portal after his main version dies, and he's rocking the old school tunic with these leopard print gloves, and it's his job to deduce who killed the modern Stephen Strange. So paint apps, accessories, absolutely amazing. Love that cape. My only gripe is that it's permanently attached. That just really chaps my hide. Even though that cape is, attached, it's still working my hide. The articulation is very well done on this character. So let's start with the head. You can look down that much. And again, I know I say this a lot, and you can make fun of me down in the comments, but please, first and foremost, warm up your figure, whether it's heating it up with a blow dryer or submerging it in warm water. But for example, I could barely do this when I first got him out of the packaging. I had to warm him up first to get that range of motion. So just heads up there, guys. And even though the cape loops like this, you can still get them to look up relatively well. So I'm very thankful for that. Same with being able to turn his head left and right. And it has a lot of play in it, so you're going to be good to go on that aspect. Arms. Say I need to warm him up more. He's still a little stiff. You have to really work with that cape because, yeah, you're not able to really do a whole 180 without spinning it out that way. That's why the cape being attached is so damn frustrating. He doesn't have an upper bicep swivel, which is kind of like, what the hell? I'm going to let it go, though, because he at least pivots at the elbow. Does have, it's more of a single joint. It is what it is, but that's because of the big and bulkiness. Again, it doesn't bother me too much. I would love more, but for what they give us with this character, I'm okay with it. Hands go up, down, spin 360. Very good ab crunch there. Great back crunch. And again, warm this up. You can get the leg out to 90 degrees that way. He does have the dreaded, see, this is why I hate that the cape's attached. He does have the dreaded butt flap, so you can't really get a 90 degree back that way. You have to kind of go off to the side, which they really, as I always say, need to take a page from McFarlane Toys on that regard. Legs can go out to the side that much. Does have an upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Foot can go down, foot can go up, and ankle pivots. So there are some points where he is limited, but still, even with that big bulky cape permanently affixed to him, at least you get the range of motion that we get. I'm thankful for that. Now for size comparisons, as I was getting everybody set up, Wade had to be up to his shenanigans again, so caused to put everybody in disarray. All these figures we have gone over. Here is the disappointed and embarrassed Age of Apocalypse Colossus Wave Rogue. Here is the, whoop, as he blops, there is the Age of Apocalypse Colossus Legion. And then, of course, the Gamerverse Miles Morales Spider-Man. And then, of course, the little tramp back here, the Sauron Build-A-Figure Wave X-Men's Deadpool, who's trying to help Steven here get his cloak of levitation off, even though he's saying, knock it off, Wade, which, you know him, he likes to bark up the wrong tree. But putting these guys in their kind of their natural environment of action poses and silly poses, as you can see, whatever you want to do on a shelf or action figure photography, they're all going to look absolutely amazing. You just get a little bit of patience going on, warm up your figures a little bit, whether it be warming up a cape or, figure if their legs are too stiff. They all have a great range of motion, and no matter what you decide to do with them, they're going to look absolutely amazing. Let me know what you guys think of all these figures down in the comments. By the hoary hosts of Hogarth, guys, do I absolutely love this action figure. I feel like whoever did this really took a lot of care in who Doctor Strange was. This hits on all levels. As I said, the only thing that I don't understand and why they thought was a good idea is to let his cloak of levitation be permanently affixed to him. That was stupid. I'm not going to get back into it, but he didn't get his cloak of levitation in the Eye of Amagatu until later down the road. It was just the blue. The paint apps, I'm okay that his logo on his shirt isn't a brighter or a lighter color as it is in the books, I can let those go. But the cape, that was a piss poor design. However, to finally have a comic book accurate Strange that's not Benjamin Cumberbatch, I think is how you pronounce his name, I'm okay with that. And they really did an excellent job. The accessories are amazing. Everything about this figure, other than the cape being permanently glued, epic. If you guys have enjoyed what you've seen, as I said, check out walmart.com. If not, please run to your local comic shop and see if maybe someone traded one in. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate it if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you want mine, hitting that fancy little Vishanti bell next to subscribe. That way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you all continue to have an absolutely zounds day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.